I don't need the mainstream media to be great. I need them to not be abjectly horrible.
The media doesn't get the story right.
Protests were mostly peaceful.
It is not, generally speaking, unruly.
The media exists in its own bubble.
Donald Trump's a smart one, and y'all elitists are your math and your reading.
Yeah, you're reading.
Go through some of the giant hoaxes that they have pushed on us.
The worst attack on American democracy since the Civil War.
Is Trump-Russia collusion.
The president's no collusion, no obstruction mantra. We know it's false.
On conspiring with Russia, President Trump was clear of that.
Brett Kavanaugh, that he was a serial rapist.
An orchestrated political hit.
Losing control suggests something incriminating.
Or we had the Covington kids.
It does look like that young man to me is taunting the Native American Vietnam vet.
Or the Jussie Smollett hoax.
I find so personally offensive that a gay black man is targeted and then suddenly he becomes the victim of people's disbelief.
Or it was all of the COVID stuff.
The virus stops with every vaccinated person.
The people who are not getting vaccines, it's time to start shaming them.
Those emails we just talked about are connected to an ongoing Russian disinformation effort.
Charlottesville.
We saw Klansmen and white supremacists.
He says that he's running for president because Donald Trump said.
He said there were, quote, some very fine people on both sides.
The next sentence out of his mouth is.
And I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
Even just in the last couple of weeks.
It's hard to see what else this could be.
This quote-unquote bombing at the Gaza hospital.
Really, other than an Israeli airstrike.
And then the New York Times had to change their headline 3 times over the course of a day, and they used a picture on the front page of the New York Times to show a blown-up building that was not the hospital. But the implication was it was the hospital. Things that the media just gets wrong.
17-year-old vigilante, arguably a domestic terrorist, picked up a rifle, drove to a different state to shoot people.
And wrong. And it's not just that they get them wrong, they get them completely wrong. So when I say that I don't need them to be great, I need them to not be abjectly horrible, they seem unable to do that.
Look what they did to my face. They made me look like I was ill. And turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink out. No one cared that I got better. That was not the narrative. The narrative is like Joe Rogan is taking veterinary medication.
One of those drugs he mentioned, ivermectin, is something more often used to deworm horses.
But the fact that that's a news organization that did that is so terrifying.
So in what ways has the world gone mad?
When you have the chief reporter on the beat of COVID for the New York Times talking about how questioning or pursuing the question of the lab leak is racist, the world has gone mad.
Who's the people stopping the conversation? Who are they?
People that work at networks, frankly, like the one I'm speaking on right now.
As long as we have a roughly free internet, it's allowed alternative voices all over the world to come together and try to make sense of what's going on.